Welcome to the final video on how to record drums at home. This is part 4 of 4. First we talked about gear, then we talked about setting up your audio interface, then we talked about mic placement. In this video, I'm going to explain preamp gain and show you how to set it for recording drums. Make sure to subscribe, because after this, I'm going to go through step by step on how I mixed these drums. First, what is preamp gain? Basically, the mic signal that comes into your audio interface is a very weak signal, so it has to be amplified by the built-in preamps in your audio interface. After the signal gets amplified, it's turned into a digital signal that gets sent to your computer. The important part here is that you have to set your preamp gain high enough so that you get a healthy signal into your DAW, but not high enough so that it's clipping. If the signal gets clipped going into the DAW, the transients will be chopped off and you won't be able to fix it. If you look at the meters inside your DAW, you'll see the top is labeled 0, which means 0 dBFS, which is 0 decibels full scale. This is how digital audio is measured within your DAW. The meters are usually color-coded so that anything below -18 is green, anything in between -18 and -6 is yellow, and anything above -6 is red. My rule of thumb is to set the preamp gain so that the average of each peak is in between -18 and -12. This gives plenty of headroom for the extra loud parts so that you're not in danger of clipping. Let's look at the front of your audio interface. Your audio interface will have a preamp gain knob for each individual channel, and there'll be a phantom power button for banks of channels or individual channels. We need the phantom power on for condenser microphones, so if your overheads are condensers, go ahead and turn those on. If your audio interface only does phantom power for banks of microphones, go ahead and turn it on for the bank where the condenser microphones are on, and don't worry about your dynamic microphones, which won't be affected by phantom power. So to get into it, first we're going to hit the record button on each of the tracks so that we can see the signal level coming in. We'll start with kick. Hit about as hard as your average hit and adjust the preamp gain knob until each hit is in between -18 and -12 on your input meters. Do the same for snare and toms. Finally, for the overheads, the snare is usually what's loudest in them. So go back to hitting your snare drum and adjust the preamp gain for your overheads based on that. Once you're done, play the full kit and watch the meters to make sure you're not clipping anything. Don't worry if some hits are a little quiet and some hits are a little loud. It's not a super exact science. If you're in the ballpark between -18 and -12, you won't have any issues. After you're done recording some test clips, listen back to make sure they sound good. Here's a completely raw mix of what I just recorded.